Hey, Streetwalkers, stay tuned immediately after the episode. Bullet to the Heart and Fascination Street podcast are teaming up for a giveaway.
Hi, this is Chris Ballou from the Presidents of the United States of America, also known as Casper Baby Pants if you have small children, and you are listening to Fascination Street Podcast.
I believe that everybody has a story, and I'm fascinated to hear them. So come with me as we take a walk down Fascination Street. Welcome back, Streetwalkers. This episode is with Draven DC and Brian Benichek from the band Bullet to the Heart. Draven plays the drums, Brian plays the guitar, and these two dudes took the time out of their day to hang out and chat with me. In this episode, we talk about what got them into music and which styles they prefer. We talk about how the band got together, how the band formed. The other band members are Audrey and Tom. So we talk a little bit about their musical journey. Bullet to the Heart has a new single out called Black Widow that is part of a forthcoming EP, so look for that in the future. Toward the end of the episode, we also talk about some alternative merch ideas that I didn't see coming. They have their own hot sauce line, and they have their own coffee. You can get it whole bean or ground. I'm definitely going to be ordering some of that hot sauce. It looks amazing, and the way they describe it, it sounds dope as balls. Plus, they let me play their new single, Black Widow. You're going to dig it. Pay special attention to the lyrics because we do talk about the topics of their lyrics. And this is my conversation with Draven DC and Brian Benichek from Bullet to the Heart.
Yeah, talk to me, yeah.
Welcome to Fascination Street Podcast, Draven DC and Brian Benichek from the band Bullet to the Heart. What's up, dudes?
What up, man?
Glad to be here.
People who are listening didn't get to see this, but you know, when you're doing a Zoom call, it says whoever the guest is waiting in their waiting room or whatever, right? It's pretty memorable when it says Bullet to the Heart is waiting. And I'm like, holy fuck. Oh, that's scary. That sounds terrifying. All right, guys, we're going to get to know you guys and we're going to talk about the band and the new single and all the cool stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
All right, rad. Draven, Brian, go ahead and answer this. You can poke each other and take turns. I don't really give a shit, but I like to start out. Listeners, they just poked each other.
Okay.
I like to start out finding out how you guys got to where you are from where you were. That's a convoluted way to say, tell me where you were born and raised.
I was born in the wonderful city of Des Trains. It's the nickname we give Des Plaines, Illinois. Because there's the highest number of railroad tracks in Illinois. And I also lived right next to the train track. So I'd hear trains and I'd hear planes because O'Hare's right above there.
That city, Des Plaines, has the most feet of railroad track in the whole state?
The most railroad crossings.
Oh, railroad crossings. That's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're always getting caught by a train. I used to visit him when he lived there and to do music stuff before we lived with each other. And you would always catch a train on the way. It happens every time.
Like, no matter what, like, oh, there's definitely going to be a train.
Usually a freight train, too.
Yeah.
That and the airport was right next to me. So, I'd hear the train and then, you'd see planes like cutting off some of the branches of the trees in your front yard.
Oh, rad.
Not quite. They'd get really close sometimes.
Really? Pretty low.
Yeah, like a couple 100 feet.
Holy shit, that's crazy. Where are you from, Draven? Where'd you grow up?
So I was born in Chicago, and then my parents moved to a suburb near Chicago. So it's kind of where I grew up.
Like Franklin?
Yeah, around there.
I'm just making up words. That's fucking rad. How did you guys meet?
You're making up words, but there's a place called Franklin Park.
There's a place called Franklin everywhere. Did you say Franklin Park?
Yeah.
Is that near Lincoln Park?
No, it's kind of like Lincoln Park's more like in the city.
Got you. Is it near Disturbed? I'm just kidding. How did you guys meet?
Disturbed's from Rockford. You could explain the meeting story because you can explain it better.
Sure. So basically 6 years ago-ish, we're on the same show together. I was doing my own solo thing at the time. So I had made backing tracks for some songs that I had written and I was just playing solo dolo. And then they came up to me after my set and they're like, hey man, our guitar player is quitting after today. We like your stuff. You want to join our band? I was like, well, let me hear how you guys sound first. And then, I heard them play and, the rest is history.
So what was the name of the band when they walked up to you?
So we were called Bulletproof at the time. It was Audrey and I, and then two other guys. So we were headlining that night. Brian was one of the openers.
And so this was just a concert somewhere in Chicago, or?
Yeah, it was in the Chicagoland area. It was supposed to be our band's album show, and then our other bandmates kind of dropped the ball. Yeah, and they weren't interested in continuing the project. So luckily he was there, and we just kind of hooked up, and it kind of worked out, man.
Okay, so who else is in the band? We got Draven. Do you play drums? Is that what you do?
Yep, hanging on the skins.
Brian, what do? You a guitar guy?
I play guitar and I write songs, and sometimes I sing.
Oh, yeah, write me a song. Go ahead, right. Who else is on there? We got Audrey.
Yeah, Audrey's the lead singer, and then Tom Monroe is the bass player.
Tom Monroe. What's Audrey's last name?
Put Queen.
Audrey Put Queen. Got it.
Yeah, Audrey Queen.
They're a little shy.
That's cool. I get it. Hey, nobody even knows who I am either, and I've been doing this show for 5.5 years. I've never said my name once. I'm just kidding.
He just asks everybody else their names.
I was like, what's your social security number? What's your middle name?
What's your credit card?
What's your mother's maiden name?
Exactly.
Can you tell me the 3 numbers on the back of your credit card?
Oh, yeah, just those 3 digits?
Yeah.
Okay, so Draven, how old were you when you decided that music was driving you?
Officially, I was 14. I started playing drums when I was 10, but I didn't get serious about it until I was 14. I went to a couple concerts, started looking at actual artists do their thing, and I was like, that's like the coolest shit in the world. So I want to do more of that.
Between 10 and 14, what happened? You were just like, oh, drums are cool. And then you were like, man, this is a lot of fucking work. And then 4 years later, you're like, no, it's worth it.
No, so I actually wanted to play guitar, and I couldn't figure it out for anything. And I ended up getting a drum set from my grandfather, who wasn't really a part of my life for the first 10 years of my existence. And he got me a drum kit. So I was banging on the drums at his house, and he apparently saw something in me, and he came over one day and was like, I bought you a kit. I want you to practice every day. And I kind of did it, just kind of like as a whatever. And then I started seeing all these great bands like Avenged Sevenfold, System of a Down, Korn. And I was like, oh my God, the drummer, that's the coolest guy in the room. And I just got hooked after that.
What do you think about that dude who plays for Tool? He's okay, right?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He's all right. So I think that's really cool that even though your grandfather wasn't there, I guess he didn't make a heck of an impact in the first decade. He really, really laid some stuff down, and he basically tattooed his soul on you.
Yeah, I mean, he was a musician all of his life. He's actually from Germany. He was born during the Holocaust, or like right after the Holocaust, when they were trying to rebuild. And he came over to America because they were, fleeing, obviously, this war-torn country. And he was always just a weird, mysterious man. And he was a musician. His house was just a giant studio. He had instruments everywhere. He played everything. He was almost in a couple of big projects. And it just kind of became part of my life after I took an interest in music.
So looking behind you, was he your interior decorator? There's just instruments everywhere. Ha ha. Brian, when did you know that music was going to be your thing?
I was 7 years old. My dad took me to a music store and he says, hey, you can play an instrument if you want. Because like my brother started playing music early. My dad's a musician. And he's like, yeah, pick an instrument. I'm like, trumpet. He's like, you mean the violin, right? You want to play the violin, right? Yeah. I'm like, no, trumpet. He's like, okay, I'll get you trumpet. He had me do private lessons for about 10 years, and I got really good at that. And then from that, I just moved from one instrument to another. I played violin afterwards because he wanted me to play violin. Then I played cello, then picked up guitar. When I was around 14, that's when I started getting serious with it. I bought my first guitar. It was a BC Rich Warlock, super edgy. From there, when I was in high school, I got a lot more serious with guitar, and I kind of wish that I started with the guitar first. Because I wish I was as technically skilled on guitar as I was with trumpet at the time. But yeah, that's kind of when I got serious about it, and it was around when I was 14. I always knew that it was going to be like an important thing in my life because I grew up doing it, and for a large part of my life, like it's all I really had was just music, and I just wanted to share that with as many people as I can in this world.
Rad. I don't often hear that trumpet is the gateway instrument. Why did you want the trumpet so bad?
It looks cool.
It still looks cool. So are you pretty good at the trumpet still?
I'm pretty rusty now, but if I actually practiced for a while, I'd probably be able to get somewhat decent. I was in IMEA when I was in like 8th grade.
I don't know what that is.
It's basically like an honors band. You have to audition for it, and it's like statewide.
Ooh, prestigious.
I did it from when I was 7 till I was 14. So literally half my life at that point, I've been playing trumpet. So I was kind of like, I'm kind of bored with this now. But I kept playing throughout high school. I was in like marching band and stuff, concert band. But at that point, I kind of was bored of it. So I just kind of just played the music and sight read. But I was like, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. I want to do music, but I don't want to play trumpet for the rest of my life. As it comes with like, if you wanted to like join an orchestra, like trumpet is like, there's a million trumpet players. You know, if I played the bassoon, you know, I might have a chance at the CSO, but not with a trumpet. So I just I liked guitar and like drums and that kind of stuff, like keyboard music a lot more than trumpet, just because, you know, I kind of got bored of it.
I've always thought it was weird that schools really try to get kids interested in music, but they try to get them interested in music through the traditional classical instruments. And that always struck me as bizarre because, well, let's just take, I'm sure there's a Chicago Symphony, right?
Yeah, the CSO, they're one of the best.
Oh, that's the one you were talking about. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're one of the best orchestras like in the world.
But I've always thought it was weird because let's just take the CSO, for instance. Every school in Chicago has, I don't know, 100, 200 band members. Everybody's learning all these classical instruments, which is cool. But how many number one chairs are there in each orchestra? There's just the one. I mean, there's not a whole lot of job opportunities because there's 10 million trumpet players and 9 slots.
I mean, if that's what your goal was, if you wanted to play in a professional orchestra, yeah, it is pretty slim pickings. Unless you like pick like the bassoon or the oboe, because those are very niche instruments that not a lot of kids pick. Like usually you'll have like 1, maybe 2 oboe players, 1 or 2 bassoons or bass clarinets, stuff like that. But I mean, I think it's still important that music education, because the thing is like, even if you learn one instrument, everything you learn about that instrument and the musicality, learning music theory, all that stuff applies to any other instrument that you want to learn. Like not exactly the technique, but the process of how to learn it, how to be musical with it, all that is universal.
I also think any type of music class teaches discipline as well. You know what I mean? And I think that's like kind of cool.
You know, you have to practice, you have to practice the correct way.
Yeah,
you know,
there's a lot of stuff that you could learn through music that you could apply to other life stuff.
So in the same way that, you know, martial arts and karate classes and all that stuff teach discipline and technique, you guys feel that music classes and music instruction does kind of the same thing?
Yeah, I would say so. It's definitely, and it's also like a creative outlet. So like there's been studies where like if you have that creative outlet, you have that discipline, you're going to just do better in school and better in life, you know?
Interesting. We heard about Brian's regrets from starting the wrong instrument. Do you have regrets about trying to start guitar first?
No, I feel like I had to figure it out. You know, I mean, I was really into like a lot of guitar heavy bands, like a lot of shredders. And then I was really into Guitar Hero when I was a kid. I tried it and it didn't work out. But ultimately, attempting to find that path led me to playing drums at my grandfather's house. So it kind of worked out.
Interesting. I'm sure there's a story there, but it sounds like it might be a little private. So my dad has been in hard rock and heavy metal bands for my whole life. And when I was a kid, I was like, Daddy, teach me how to play the guitar. Yeah, I'm 5, 6, something young like that, 7, whatever. Dad, teach me to play the guitar. Well, this is going to make me sound like a pussy, but it's only because I'm a pussy. You got to push, I guess, real hard when you're a little kid. You got to push real hard on those strings. And so the way that my dad showed me that you had to push real hard is that he put his fingers over my fingers and just smashed the fuck out of them. I mean, he squeezed, I thought they were going to explode. And I was like, yeah, maybe this ain't for me, man.
I had a different experience when I asked my dad how to play guitar. My dad played mostly like folk music, so he had an acoustic guitar. And he had like 12 gauge strings, which for acoustic players, that's considered light. But on the electric guitar side, that's kind of heavy. So having 12 gauge strings on this, you know, it was really hard for me to push down the strings. But then he also had an electric guitar. He had a 72 Telecaster. I'd learn on that. And then I'd eventually get the strength to be able to like push it down. But it definitely took a while. And especially like bar chords was like a big thing to get the strength to like hold down all the strings.
Yeah, because you got to make your fingers do some weird shit and then also have enough pressure to, I guess, hit that note or whatever, right?
And get callus on your fingers that, you know,
sure,
that you have some extra skin to hold them down.
So building up the calluses is what hurts, right? Once you build the calluses, it doesn't hurt so much?
Yeah, because you have this like padding.
You get them from playing drums too.
Show me. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, it's mainly like on this kind of part.
Oh, yeah. The
Like where you hold the stick.
Yeah.
I don't even know what those knuckles are called, but I got you. It's where the knuckle meets the hand, that joint, where the finger meets the hand.
Yeah. So like I got a weird one right there.
Oh, that's nasty. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that one pops pretty often when I
that's cool.
get too excited when I play.
Oh, that's rad.
Hey, Streetwalkers, here's a word from our sponsors.
So I ran into previous guest of this show, Chris Gronkowski, the other day, and it went a little something like this.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Chris. Hey, you know what sucks? When I get done with my workout at the gym, my protein shake's not cold anymore, man. It's room temperature.
Weird. I haven't run into you at the gym lately.
Busted. Okay, truth be told, I don't work out, but I do get thirsty after a long day of podcasting. I just can't seem to keep my cocktails cold.
You should use an ice shaker.
What's an ice shaker?
The ice shaker is a double-walled, vacuum-insulated stainless steel shaker bottle with a patented twist and agitator that breaks up the protein powders.
So you're saying I should switch to an ice shaker, take out the agitator so I can fit more ice in the cup and it'll stay cold longer?
Steve, you don't need more ice. The ice shaker is third-party tested and verified to keep your drink cold for 30-plus hours.
Chris, you're a genius. I'll still remove the patented screw and agitator and just add more booze.
I guess technically you could, but if you actually use the ice shaker as a protein drink cup, the agitator breaks up the powder and doesn't bounce around like you're shaking a paint can.
Why are we still talking? Let's party.
Gronk style!
That's right, Streetwalkers. Ice Shaker is made from kitchen-grade stainless steel so it doesn't smell all funky after you use it a couple of times like those cheap plastic ones. When I'm out and about doing interviews or partying Gronk style, I use the Fascination Street Podcast Edition 26-ounce Flex Ice Shaker cup, and it keeps my drink cold until the sun comes up. You saw Ice Shaker on Shark Tank. All 5 sharks made an offer with Mark Cuban and Alex Rodriguez closing the deal. Now you can get a deal too. Order your own 26-ounce Flex Cup right now at iceshaker.com and use the promo code FSP for $5 off your first order. Once again, that's iceshaker.com, promo code FSP, as in Fascination Street Pod, for $5 off your first order. That's iceshaker.com, promo code FSP.
Let's get back into it.
So who are your influences, Draven, musically? And don't say your grandfather.
Definitely the Rev from Avenged Sevenfold. Again, that was one of the pinnacle drummers where I was like, that's the coolest dude. And then I would say Tommy Lee, just because of his sense of showmanship and style.
So you're saying that Tommy Lee, the drummer for Motley Crue, has a sense of showmanship?
Yeah.
Cool. Does that mean that you're going to take a picture of your hog and show it on Instagram?
Eventually.
And go, oops.
The right price.
Yeah, for the right price, I do it.
He said eventually.
Maybe I'll compare it to the drumstick. I'll just be like, well, new drumsticks came in the mail, and then, oops, I was naked.
Brian, who are your influences musically? But then don't say Draven's grandfather.
My dad. But yeah, my dad. But definitely like Linkin Park growing up, 3 Days Grace, System of a Down, Devin Townsend. He's a pretty wacky guy, and I'm a pretty wacky guy myself. Yeah, I'd say those 4 or 5 are a good stepping stone.
How would you describe the music of Bullet to the Heart?
I would do like alternative metal. So some people just generalize the metal. Some people say hard rock. I know like Audrey likes it to be more of the hard rock stuff, but it's kind of like alternative metal. It's that middle like bridge of that alternative rock sound mixed with like metal chords and instrumentals.
I agree with that, but I also think that we have a good variety of sound. So like some of our songs are really heavy, some of our songs are more lighthearted, some of them are just weird, some of them are in between,
So why do you think that you guys have such varying musical styles in your songs? How come everything is not just, Ukrainian death metal or whatever?
I don't really have any genre in mind when I write music, at least most of the time I don't.
Yeah, also like every band member comes from a different musical kind of background.
I listen to a lot of kinds of music. I listen to like rap, hip hop. I like EDM, dubstep. I like indie music. I also like metal, rock.
Like Tom, I know, is more of like a thrash guy. Audrey was more like grunge, alternative. I was more like metalcore, hardcore, and then full on metal. So I feel like all that kind of mixed together. And then he's like a super creative dude. So just writing a riff, he writes with his emotion, and whatever comes out, it's not tied to a necessary genre.
Okay, let's talk about writing. So there's 4 of you.
Yep.
And obviously you all write your own parts. I mean, that goes without saying. But how does the writing process begin? Let's just say you guys are going to get together for a writing session, the 4 of you. And then what is step 1? Are you writing lyrics down? Are you writing a melody? Are you humming something in the shower? Like what is the seeds of germination for a song?
So there's usually 2 or 3 ways that goes on. One, which we haven't done in a while, which we need to do because usually good stuff comes from it.
Yeah.
One way is we're at practice, and usually this pisses the other members off, but I'll just start jamming with Draven. I'll just start, let's play something, and be like, ooh, and then like we kind of get in the groove. And
yeah, we'll completely stop practice to write a fucking song.
Yeah, just like on the spur of the moment, which...
I mean, when inspiration hits, it hits, right? There's nothing you can do about that.
That's how we feel. The other 2 members sometimes like they want to focus, and we're like, no, we're writing this right now. Like, take a 5-minute break. But it usually starts off with guitar and drums, and then we kind of present that riff or the idea to the other bandmates, and then we kind of go from there.
Now, do you record that so that tomorrow you're not like, what the fuck were we playing yesterday?
Yeah, usually we do. And then if not, I'll just be sitting like playing by myself, and I'll come up with a riff and then I'll record it. I got recording software, all that stuff. So I'll sometimes just like write songs on my own time by myself, and then I'll present it to, Draven and the group and be like, hey, what could work here? Then we'll kind of workshop how we can make that into a Bullet to the Heart song. Because I write a lot of stuff, and a lot of it doesn't make it into Bullet to the Heart. So I've just got folders upon folders of other music that maybe we'll see the light of day one day, but we'll see. And then I think there was a third way I was going to talk about. Oh, the third way is if we have a specific idea of we want to make a song that sounds like this specifically, instead of just like whatever comes naturally. Like there's focusing
more of a workshop day.
Yeah. Like Draven said, it usually starts with guitar and then drums, and then, we'll workshop it and see how we can fit lyrics and bass into there. And then, bada bing, bada boom, you got a song.
So what does that mean? Sometimes we're sitting there and we're like, hey, we want a specific style of song. What does that mean?
So like with this last song that we came out with, Black Widow, we had the wonderful opportunity to work with Justin from Miss May I. He's a really good producer. He's at Reface Studios. So since he comes from like a metalcore background, we wanted to make a lot kind of like something that would fit within
we wanted to match the energy.
What he's used to, and match that energy. So we came into it with the mindset of we want to write a really heavy song and like really brutal, put a breakdown in there. So that's an example of when we did that process of like, we're going to try and make this sound like this specifically with this intention in mind, instead of just, when inspiration hits, if it smells like music, get to the studio.
Who writes the lyrics?
It's all Audrey.
Except one song. I wrote one song's lyrics.
Oh, which one is it?
One More Day. That song is pretty much all me.
Is this on the album?
It's on the second album, the older one.
Got you. This album that I guess is coming out or just coming out, the one with Black Widow on it, is that the third album?
That's going to be on an EP. We're going to release a few singles and then put them all on an EP.
Yeah.
Got you. Now, I'm going to ask a question about the lyrics, and hopefully you guys can answer it, because I'm assuming you have had a conversation with Audrey.
I mean, I could try, yeah.
I've heard the lyrics.
You've heard them?
Yeah, usually when she writes, I'm usually with her, so kind of help her out. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so my question is, from what I understand, a lot of your lyrics are focused on things that people might have had to or could be in the process of trying to overcome. You guys write lyrics focused on overdoses and suicides and divorce and life and death and all of these concepts and these situations that leave indelible marks on people for the rest of their lives if they make it through whatever that situation is. Why do you guys, or if you can help explain, why does Audrey and you guys feel the need to go down those roads lyrically?
I think that a big part of it is just because just music in general, you feel an emotion from that. And with Audrey specifically, she's had to deal with a lot of that kind of stuff. And I know when I was growing up listening to Linkin Park, I was listening to songs like In the End, Somewhere I Belong. I'm like, man, I feel the same way this person does. And they feel the same way that I do. So I'm not suffering alone. People understand the way that I feel. And I feel like if I could speak for her, that's probably how she feels. If there's people that are going through the same thing that she's going through, we want to reach out, and if people feel the same way that we do, that they're not alone. And that's a very powerful thing.
Yeah, that's pretty close. He did a good job.
You can elaborate if you want.
Yeah, pretty close. Fill in the holes, man. What do you got? You're there.
No, yeah, she's gone through a lot in her life. I mean, kind of like what Brian said, she wanted to reach out, and she knows what music's done for her growing up, because it was a big, like, positive thing when you're dealing with all this garbage in your life. She wanted to be that vessel for other people. She's always believed in, like, writing music with a purpose. She's not into the rock star ego stuff. She's not into the, sex and drugs and icon BS. It's kind of like, I want to do this with a purpose, and I want to be like that vessel.
And the purpose is to let people know they're not alone, and it gets better.
Yeah, kind of like that you could get through it. You could rise up. Like, there is a way out, and it's not necessarily negative.
Wow. How fucking cool is that?
Yeah.
You guys could just be writing songs about your dicks.
Yeah, we could.
I mean, I'm not opposed to that.
Let's let Audrey not write the lyrics to that one.
She's got a bigger dick than all of us.
Sweet. Okay, so I think it was before I hit record, I asked you guys where you were because the room you're in looks dope as balls. So why do you guys all live together, which is what you kind of explained to me before I hit record?
The short version is we all just had to get out of our housing situations.
Are y'all roughly, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I mean, I don't need to know your age, but are all four of you roughly in the same age range?
It's 25 to 27.
Yeah, we're on the quarter century mark,
Okay, cool. Okay, so you were saying y'all all had, your parents were all like, get the fuck out of my house?
Not necessarily.
The short version is everybody was in a not ideal living situation, and we all wanted to move out ASAP. And we also realized, like, we're going all in on this music project, like all in. So we were like, why not get out, save some money, and all do music 100% of the time? It's the short answer for that. But it's been working out, man.
Are you familiar with the band Lit?
Yeah.
They did My Own Worst Enemy and some other stuff. That's a similar story for them. They all just lived together. They went all in. Every dime they made just went into the band. There was never even any thoughts of, quote unquote, getting a real job. So hats off. What made you guys decide to go all in? Yes, this is kind of a dumb question to ask serious musicians, but how come you didn't decide, you know what, I'm going to wear a suit on Monday through Friday, and then Friday and Saturday I'll melt faces?
Because that fucking sucks.
I just love spending money. Really, I don't like to have money. Personally,
you like to make it rain for other people.
But like, for real, like, we've been doing this project since 2017, and we have impacted a lot of people. We have been making a difference, and we realize when we're out there doing the music stuff, you're actually affecting the world and making a difference. And we don't do that at our jobs. You know what I mean? Like, you could get replaced the second you're not there. So it's like, we were like, kind of, fuck that, like, I want to do music, and we're going all in. We want to do this full time. If I could work on content and music and tour all the time, I'd be very happy. That's really the only thing I give a shit about, to be honest.
Do you guys have tour dates planned, or is there a tour in the works?
Yeah, we've gotten some touring offers. We're building up an RV right now to be on tour longer and more frequent. So we're just kind of waiting for the right opportunity. We were thinking like early next year is what we were like going to plan for. Let maybe one or two more singles come out, and then go tour the United States.
Did you say we're building an RV?
Yeah.
Yeah, building up to an RV.
Oh, thank God. I thought it was one in your backyard. You guys were renting on it as soon as the show's over. I'm like,
would that be more interesting if that was the case?
So yeah, we bought 2 Chevy S10s and we got a welder, right?
Oh, there you go. Can I play Black Widow?
Absolutely.
Of course.
Do you want to introduce your song like your radio DJs?
You're listening to Fascination Street Podcast. This is Black Widow by Bullet to the Heart.
He's good at that shit, man.
Fantastic. I love it. I love it. Earlier, Brian, I think you said that you just write a ton of shit and most of it is not necessarily right for this particular band. So you just got a whole bunch of shit in your closet or whatever, like Prince or Michael Jackson or whatever.
I have some songs that are kind of like hard rock / pop punky.
So do you have plans for all of that other music, or is it just going to go in the vault and stay there until you go, holy fuck, I forgot about this?
I do want to like make some kind of project with that. We're kind of in the works with that as like a side project thing, but I have a good 3 to 5 songs in that kind of a genre that I have going on. And then I also make some electronic music. And I do have technically a project for that. It's called Chip Doom. The I is a 1. The O's are zeros.
Super edgy. No.
Whoa! Which I do have a lot of material made for that, but I've only released one song just because like just hasn't been like in the forefront of my mind. But I do like making electronic music. Metal and hard rock, you know, like there's always aggression, you know, that's cool. But, you know, I don't always feel like that. And I feel like as I've gotten older, like I've realized there's more emotions than anger and like hostility. Not that that's the entirety of what hard rock and metal is. But, you know, I find myself writing a bigger variety of types of music and a different timbre in the songs. I have plans for some of the stuff, but, you know, it's not really the first priority. So it's just kind of on the back burner. And then I'm also in a band with my cousin called Beyond Death. So like if I have any like super death metal-y, like thrashy stuff, that might go towards that project.
First of all, this motherfucker said timbre. Second of all, I'm not trying to start any shit, but didn't you guys say you were all in on Bullet to the Heart and this dude's in fucking a dozen bands? What's up?
I'm in 2 bands.
3.
The side project we would both be in.
Oh, rad.
Never have all your eggs in one basket, but I'm not buying an RV for, my side project.
That makes sense.
I think it's important to have a project to have fun in.
Yeah, like I'd go insane if I could only play one type of music, And like I was saying earlier, like there's different emotions than just this.
No, but you got to say it in your radio DJ voice. There's more emotions than just anger. Go ahead, do that thing again.
Hey, Streetwalkers, here's a word from our sponsors.
Welcome to the Cool Grandpa Podcast. This is the podcast where we get to talk to other grandfathers and figure out what they are doing to make their relationships grow and become meaningful. I also talk to experts on mental health, addiction, career advice, writing books, and many other topics. If you're not a grandfather, that's perfectly okay. Much of what we talk about are tips and tricks that you can use in your everyday relationships as well. So you're more than welcome to come on in and join us. The Cool Grandpa Podcast can be found on all major podcast hosting platforms, as well as cool-grandpa.us. That's cool-grandpa.us. Come in, kick up your feet, and join us as we figure out this role of grandfather together. Now, Steve, why don't you hit us again with another fascinating conversation?
Let's get back into it.
Well, guys, I feel like I've taken up kind of enough of your time. Can you tell everybody where they can find Bullet to the Heart and you guys specifically on the interwebs?
Everywhere but SoundCloud.
Fuck SoundCloud.
Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, if I didn't say that already.
Yeah, if you could search it, Bullet to the Heart's on it.
Okay, so Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all them shits, TikTok.
Yeah.
We're even on Twitch, TikTok, Snapchat, everywhere.
Why fuck SoundCloud?
It's just not for our genre.
SoundCloud is mostly like tailored for like up and coming rappers.
Whoa.
And like electronic music. I mean, if you dig deep enough, you'll see my recordings from when I was in high school on SoundCloud. They're terrible.
It's a treasure hunt.
They're terrible.
Who knew you were a rapper in high school? Just kidding. Okay, as we're heading out, guys, Draven, DC, Brian, Benishek. Hey, I did it. Is there anything we didn't talk about or I didn't ask you about that you wanted to talk about today, man? Did I miss anything?
Nothing that you'd be aware of off the bat, but I just wanted to plug something. We have hot sauce that we're selling as well as coffee. So Bullet to the Heart Big Cartel,
Yeah.
I think. Or if you go to our Facebook, our link tree, our links is on there. But yeah.
Yeah, we have more than just t-shirts. We're in the food industry.
Yes.
Okay, why?
Because I wanted to. I love business, so like I want to do like entrepreneur shit.
And I love hot sauce and I love coffee. So to be able to make our own, why not?
Okay, so tell me more about the coffee. What's it called? What are the hints, the notes?
It's called Soul Sucker.
Yeah, it's the custom artisan blend that we designed ourselves with our co-packer.
Most of the blend is Guji beans, which basically the cherry of the coffee bean stays on there for longer and ferments a bit so that you kind of get that fruity floral flavor. But then we also added a hint of like a more earthy blend in there to kind of bring it down so it's not just fruit. That's why the notes are like chocolate, blueberry, and floral. It's a medium roast, so good flavor, good balance of flavor and caffeine and all that stuff.
You guys sell whole bean and ground or just whole bean, or how do you do it?
Yes, we do on our website. Yep, both of them.
Okay. Is that the only, for lack of a better term, flavor that you guys have right now? Is
For now, yeah. We're doing a couple waves of this. We already sold out of the first like 1.5. So we're trying to do that.
Our business partner that we're working with, Roast 808, they have their own blends and flavors. So if you like this, you want to check out their other stuff, they have a lot to offer.
And Roast 808, is that there where you guys are?
Yeah, it's in the Chicagoland area.
Yeah,
oh, cool.
Like it's like a co-partnership. It's their logo on the back, and it's our QR code.
Badass. And now tell me more about this hot sauce. Well, what's it called, and who do you partner with for that?
It's called Bullet to the Heartburn.
Ha!
So we're working with a company called Psycho Pepper. They have a green flavor. We have the red flavor. So there's a lot of garlic in it, habanero peppers, some other secret ingredients that make it spicy, but it's a little bit of sweetness in there as well.
How is that being received? Because I know that tons of people love hot sauce, and I guess there's that hot wing challenge or whatever the fuck that show is on TV, Hot Wing. I think it's just called Hot Wings.
Hot ones.
Yeah, hot one. It's been well received. We've had a lot of reorders on that one specifically. So like that's pretty exciting. We're always trying to make more. So
yeah, this isn't like the kind of hot sauce that's meant to like torture anyone. You know, it's meant to be flavorful. Like it is hot sauce, but
it's great for cooking.
Yeah.
We've been cooking with it a lot in the house. It's like it's really good for cooking and marinade, but it's also like hot sauce on a taco or hot sauce on your whatever the fuck you want hot sauce on.
Oh my God. Yeah, I hope it says that on the back of the bottle.
I will make sure it does next time.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Great for whatever the fuck you want.
Hot sauce for whatever the fuck you want.
There was a Tabasco commercial probably 15, maybe 20 years ago where they just, I guess, asked a bunch of celebrities what they put Tabasco on. And the only one that I remember was Dan Aykroyd's answer. And he said, anything humans can possibly consume. I don't know why that stuck with me, but that reminded me of what you just said. Like, where the fuck you want to put hot sauce on?
Dan Aykroyd, that's an interesting individual.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That reminds me. Since you love getting into business, when are you going to drop your own alcohol like everybody else seems to? Jesus Christ.
In the works, maybe.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm networking with somebody. I'm getting more info on that soon. I would love to do a bourbon and I would love to do a wine.
Interesting. No beer, huh? Not a beer guy.
I'll plead the fifth on that one.
What does that mean?
I don't mean to offend anyone. I feel like we all have Stockholm syndrome when it comes to beer.
What do you mean?
It doesn't taste good, but you kind of trick yourself into liking it.
Damn,
Well, that's just what I think.
Everyone's not going to check.
But then again, I'll drink PBR, so I don't know. What do I know?
This interview is... Oh, I'm just kidding. Actually, this interview is over. That's really cool. I love that you guys have branched out to, not just t-shirts and hats and shit like that, but to actual real world. Do you guys offer subscriptions on those things?
Not at the moment. Maybe something we'll look into in the future. Right now, you can
idea.
Yeah, for now, you could just do a reorder.
Is that mainly you don't do it yet because of supply?
Yeah, we're also like testing the waters right now with that stuff.
Because you can't really keep it in stock. So why would you tease everybody with a subscription that you can't fulfill because it just sells out all the time?
Yeah, see, there you go.
Yeah.
That's kick ass. Well, guys, Draven, Brian, from Bullet to the Heart, you guys have been super fucking rad, and I appreciate your time. Thank you both so much for taking the time out of your busy day and your hectic hot sauce in your coffee schedule to hang out and let us get to know you a little bit on Fascination Street, guys. I really appreciate it.
Likewise.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having us.
You guys have a great week, man. Take it easy.
You too.
You coming?
All right, Streetwalkers, here's the deets. Bullet to the Heart and I have decided to blow it out both pant legs for this end of the year episode. Together, we're giving away a bottle of Bullet to the Heartburn hot sauce and a Fascination Street podcast t-shirt to 3 lucky winners. It's so simple. To be entered, all you have to do is like or retweet this episode's post on any platform, and you're entered into the drawing. 3 lucky winners will be contacted by me for your shirt size and mailing address. Once again, Bullet to the Heart and Fascination Street podcast are coming together to give away a bottle of Bullet to the Heartburn hot sauce and a Fascination Street podcast t-shirt. So make sure to like and retweet every post about this episode you can find on every platform. Thanks, guys, and good luck. Opening music is the song Magnolia from the 2001 album Intransigence, used with permission from Douglas Miles Clark. Closing music is from the song Say My Name off the 2021 album Underdog Anthems, used with permission from Jack's Hollow. If you like the show, tell a friend. Subscribe and rate and review the show on iTunes and wherever else you download podcasts. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. All the episodes are available there as well. Check me out on Vero at Fascination Street Pod and TikTok at Fascination Street Pod. And again, thanks for listening.